watch the recent Margaret Thatcher programme on BBC television, there's lots of footage of her practicing again and again a speech in checkers she's then going to deliver in a public forum. And the reality is to do performance well, you have to practice and you have to rehearse. And I think that is as true of somebody, a veteran speech maker, as it is of somebody who is speaking or doing television for the first time. I've had an experience of that moving from speech making into television because it's a completely different way of communicating and it's good to rehearse. A TV programme I'm currently doing with the BBC, I said to the producers that before we go on location, to do a programme where I'm going to be improvising a lot, I'd like us to come and have a few hours with a camera with you where we just rehearse. And they were a bit surprised because there wasn't any money in the budget for that and people don't normally ask for it. But for me, going onto the live location with all the paraphernalia of a whole setup, knowing we've only got a limited amount of time to do it, I want to know before I arrive, not just what they want and the style which will work, but I want to know how it feels. I want to know from the beginning that when I'm going to deliver, that I know how it feels to do it well. So the rehearsal time, we spent 5 hours in some room in West London with a camera, with the 2 execs, and we went through lots of different styles. I said I could be a bit bigger, a bit smaller. Do you want it to be faster, slower? Do you want me walking or not? And we went through a few things and we said, well, that's the one which works. And that rehearsal, it goes back to, I think, something which is fundamental to me in speaking and TV and performance, that if you go into any setting not knowing what it feels like to succeed, it's much, much harder to do it well, because you're doubting all the time, is this right, is it working, is the audience with me? And that doubt destabilises your performance. Because if you can go in knowing what it feels like from the beginning to do it well, because you've rehearsed with people around you telling you that's the one which works, that's the thing which gives you the confidence to be natural and to not feel uptight. So in any public setting, whether you are very experienced or doing it for the first time, a small amount of practice and rehearsal makes a massive difference. But don't stand, I would say, at a lectern with dummy boards and a text rehearsing a rigid delivery. Rehearse getting rid of it and just doing it. The human brain is incredible in its ability to retain. I learned to have a 5,000 word speech, written every word, and I can do that without text and hit 99%, not just paragraph but sentence, after a couple of hours of rehearsal. So get rid of the text.